Now on CoastTV News.
Battling a blizzard. The high winds and heavy snow that is combined into a massive weather event.
A powerful blizzard continues to impact the region. Avoid travel. We have well over a foot of snow across the peninsula. We'll track the snow when it exits and when we all clear out.
Keeping up with the snow.
We've got the streets department and the water department out here plowing.
The effort all over Delmarva on snow removal to get roads back open.
This is CoastTV News Today.
And you are looking live at a blizzard situation. This is Salisbury with all that snow. You can see it is having an effect. I have our camera here with our look that we normally have of Salisbury University, so we don't have the greatest visibility, and we've been under a blizzard warning since early Sunday afternoon.
That's right, Matt. And now turning to our view from Ocean City. This is video from just moments ago. High above Coastal Highway around 94th Street. Not great visibility. You can see there are snowflakes falling onto our camera. But what you can see is that no one is out on those roads this morning as we are facing severe weather across the peninsula.
And that's probably a good idea for them. Now, we have team coverage to help us tell this story in these early morning hours. On the left side of your screen, that is Coast TV's Brandon Ferguson. He is just off of Coastal Highway in Lewis.
And on the right side, Elisa Weber is live in Milton.
And welcome to our 6 o'clock hour. This is some of the strongest snow we have seen in over 15 years. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
Good morning, Matt. I'm Grace Eckerly. Today is Monday, February 23rd, 2026, and I think we're going to remember this day for a long time to come.
A lot going on. We have over a foot of snow in many places, Grace, and if you're just joining us moments ago, we heard from DelDOT. They say they're struggling to keep up with the snowfall on many of the main highways.
That's right, Matt, and it is a good idea. Please stay off the roads if you must. Turning now to First Alert Meteorologist Chris Mastrobono, man of the hour. Chris, you have been tracking the storm since the beginning.
That's right, Grace and Matt. Good morning, Delmarva. We went from being in the 50s on Saturday to now over a foot of snow. Yes, this storm has been, a meteorological marvel. The atmosphere is a beautiful thing, and it works in mysterious ways sometimes. 31 in Lewis, and you can see we're drying out through the western portion of the peninsula. But note the last feature there, you could beginning to see it fill back in. But the heaviest snow we've been tracking has primarily been across western Sussex County along 113 and 13 from Harrington down through Seaford, and this pivoting to the east. So we're going to fill in here across coastal Sussex as well as down to Ocean City here. But we are beginning to see this area of low pressure slowly push to the northeast as this system continues to deepen. Well over 14 inches in Dagsboro, a foot in Milford, over 8 inches in Bethany, and we're going to be adding to these totals through the morning as more totals actually come into the Weather Center. 59 mile-an-hour gust there, Indian River Inlet, to 55 mile-an-hour gust in Indian Beach. 42 mile-an-hour gusts currently in Indian River Inlet, and we're still seeing gusts inland upwards of 30 to 40 miles an hour. So avoid travel, stay home through the morning. That snow will be with us at least through midday. We do get above the freezing mark, so that is some good news, but we are going to be refreezing tonight as we dip back into the teens. We'll continue to track the snow on radar through the morning.
Thank you, Chris. Boy, this is quite a snowstorm that we are still hours away from actually digging out of.
That's right, Matt. And in the storm, we have Coast TV's Elisa Weber in Milton. Elisa, you're in a neighborhood that appears to have well over a foot of snow.
Good morning, Matt and Grace. This neighborhood, it's covered in snow from houses to trees, the roadway, and yes, this is a sidewalk right next to me. This snow, it is heavy, heavy snow, which is why it's weighing down trees. You want to be careful to stay away from trees and power lines. If you are looking to maybe shovel this snow, I recommend you do not, especially if you have underlying health conditions, because it is heavy. If you have a snow blower, help your neighbors. But this morning, the biggest concern is the visibility. The wind gusts, they are strong here in Milton. It's blowing the snow around, making it more difficult to see. That is why there is a level 3 driving restriction in effect here in Delaware, so those essential workers can get on the road, they can snow plow. But I will say the spot I've been standing in, it is not slippery with ice. It is getting more slick as the snow turns into slush, so that is something you need to keep in mind. Things are not freezing over out here, but this slush, you do need to be careful. We will have more updates for you later on. Back to you.
Thank you, Elisa. And that is the story in Milton here. We're getting a live look now at the westbound span of the Bay Bridge. And Not a lot of traffic there. When we had this shot about an hour ago, we did see a couple of cars, and actually on the left side of you, well, there is one right there. So there is a little bit of traffic. Now, Maryland is under a state of emergency. State officials are asking people to avoid travel.
And here's video that we have from just moments ago. This is in Newark. You can see plows coming through, taking care of these roads. This is the area of the Christiana Mall. Now, Newcastle County did receive a small amount less snow than we did. But if you are driving like these plows are preparing for people to do, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration warning drivers to never use cruise control. I know it can be tempting if you're on these major highways, especially in these morning hours, but it actually can reduce a driver's control if your vehicle's traction happens to get lost.
Yeah, level 3 driving ban remains in effect for Kent and Sussex County, and what that means is no one should drive, only people designated as first responders. There are a couple of other exceptions, such as media and essential personnel, and those include public utility or those operating snowplows. Listen to what Rehoboth Beach Police are saying about road conditions in that city.
We've got the streets department and the water department out here plowing. I saw about 2 cars past 10 minutes, so people are definitely staying off the road.
Rehoboth Beach says parking is not allowed on Rehoboth Avenue, Bayard Avenue, and State Road until snow removal operations are done.
Power outages widespread this morning. Delmarva Power saying over 36,000 customers are without power right now. And the updated figures from Delaware Electric Cooperative is over 50,000 people in various areas, really all across Kent and Sussex County, are without power. Delaware Electric says that these blizzard conditions have caused them to pause all repairs out of a concern for the safety of their crews. The organization says that crews are getting stuck and roads are dangerous. Delaware Electric says that people should prepare for some lengthy power outages.
We've also been tracking the situation with the airports in the region. Here is what we have so far with departing flights. According to FlightWare, BWI, they're reporting 79 cancellations. They also have a couple of delays. FlightWare has Philadelphia with 83% of its flights canceled so far. Salisbury Airport has canceled a flight scheduled that was supposed to take off just minutes ago to Charlotte. There's a 718 to Philadelphia canceled, and we just got this one in. We just learned that the 8:03 a.m. flight to Charlotte, that's now canceled. Washington Dulles International hasn't increased its cancellations over the past hour. They are now reporting 40. And we will continue to check in with those roads and flights throughout our newscast.
That's right, Matt. Now let's get back to First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono. Chris, we just saw some of those road conditions in Sussex County, and DEMA actually announcing just an hour ago that there is a coastal flood advisory in effect for Kent, inland Sussex, and Delaware beaches until 5 p.m.
Yeah, that's the one of the many other concerns that we're worried about is that coastal flooding, primarily in the back bays, because we're seeing more of a northwest wind instead of an onshore wind. 31 right now in Ocean View as we continue to get pummeled by wind-driven snow along the coast. So moderate to heavy rainfall continues through a good bit of the area, especially across Delaware. We've been tracking this heavy band of snow that, if you notice, hasn't really moved much in the last hour, continuing to snow pretty heavily there with snowfall rates of 1 to 2 inches right along Route 113 there and Route 13. Now the winds will continue to gust, and we've been seeing gusts upwards of 60 miles an hour on the peninsula. We're gusting to 42 in Salisbury, 34 Bethany, as well as 35 in Lewis. So avoid travel, stay off the roads. That snow will be winding down through about midday, but the winds will continue to produce blowing and drifting snow. Yes, we've been mentioning this is a very heavy, cakey snow, back-breaking snow, so take your time when removing it, and those coastal flooding concerns primarily in the back bays through high tide this evening. We'll continue to have another update here in a little bit.
Thank you, Chris. Now, Coastal Highway, it's one of our primary roads for first responders in Sussex County.
Yeah, that's where we have our Brandon Ferguson with the driving restrictions in place. Roads like Coastal Highway, they're mostly empty. Good morning, Brandon.
Good morning, Matt and Grace. This is a turning lane off of Coastal Highway, and I just want you to look at how deep these tire tracks go because of how much snow has fallen and accumulated on the ground. And this is hard, frozen snow. This is not, like I said in the last half hour, not have fun in with your kids type of snow. This is hard snow that can be dangerous. As for Coastal Highway, there's just a light layer of snow and slush on the road. As a DelDOT plow came through about 45 minutes ago, we have not seen much since then on Coastal Highway. As for side streets here in Lewis, right off of Coastal Highway where our hotel is, it's more of a slush type of feel, not light snow, slush, hard type of snow. And again, Coastal Highway, a light layer of snow as wind picks up here. Take a look at the flags we showed you at our 5 o'clock newscast. Very windy, very snowy, very active weather here in Sussex County. And Matt, I don't think the glasses are cutting it. I'm gonna have to get some goggles for my next hit. Back to you.
Okay. All right. Well, we look forward to that. Thanks, Brandon. From Lewis, happening now, the impacting of that wastewater treatment plant there. Lewis PPW says due to the outage, there's a power outage, people should not flush toilets and they should limit water use. Officials say crews are currently working to restore service. Now, this is a storm that for a number of hours is creating those power outage issues. That's
right, Matt. Now, Chris, it's because of these heavy snowfall that's bringing down trees and power lines.
Yeah, we haven't seen a storm like this winter where we've had this much snow caked to power lines and trees, and then with that extra weight, the trees and power lines come down with also the added wind that we had on top of it. So it really, essentially, for better intents purposes, it's been a perfect storm. Now that blizzard warning continues through at least this evening as we continue to see heavy snow, and the heavy snow continues across the western portions of the county. Sussex County. Now we are beginning to fill in the snow with some wraparound snow there through Cambridge. 42-mile-an-hour gusts currently in Indian River Inlet, so the winds are going to continue to howl, especially through the coast. Now the snow will be with us through midday. We get above the freezing mark, so that should help a bit, but we are going to go dipping back into the teens overnight into Tuesday morning, creating a lot of ice across the area. We'll talk more about that in the full forecast here in a little bit.
Yeah, some of the effects of the snow is the state of Delaware offices are closed today for February 23rd. This applies to all 3 counties. However, essential employees, those are the ones designated for severe weather, they are scheduled to report.
And with wintry weather impacting Delmarva, school districts already have a plan in place. According to the Cape Henlopen School District, if there are 2 consecutive school closure days, operations will move to synchronous learning on the 2nd day. The district will share any delays or closures through phone, email, text, or social media.
Indian River School District says the first day of weather-related closures, that's a snow day. 2nd day, students will complete assignments on their own time, and they will do that without live instruction.
And you can check out the crawl that will be at the bottom of your screen for more school closure information. And be sure to download the CoastTV app for your phone and your tablet. All of our news is always on this. And in case you didn't know, you can also get CoastTV streaming app for your TV with devices like Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Now we're just getting started here on this hour of CoastTV News today.
Yeah, coming up, historic New Jersey storm. We're going to hear from the governor there as that state braces for the severe weather.
Also, shoveling safety, how to prevent strain on your body.
And First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono is in the Weather Center. He's been a busy guy this morning. The snow continues to pile up, and Chris continues to update those snow totals. We are checking in with him next.
Well, a powerful nor'easter continues to pummel the peninsula with heavy snow and wind. As we take a live look here into Lewis, you can see the snowy landscape there. 31 degrees. We've had some rather gusty winds at the beaches, and we continue to track this heavy band of snow extending from the midshore from Denton down through Seaford and Laurel. Some heavy snowfall rates there, up to 1 inch to 2 inches an hour, and the wind flow out of the northwest will continue to gust in excess of 40-45 miles an hour through the afternoon today. So the snow and wind will be with us. The snow will come to an end at least through the early part of the afternoon. We do see those temperatures get above the freezing mark, which should help clear some of the snow, but again, take your time removing that snow from your car and around your property. I'll have details on some 50-degree temperatures in that 7-day forecast.
Thank you, Chris. And we're now taking a live look into Ocean City. We have a little more sunlight than we did at our last hour. Snow continuing to fall and having an effect on the coast. You can see better now all the snow that is caking the docks and these homes along the inlet. That was a look from above. Now we're going to take a look from the streets.
Yeah, we are live with Alexis Greek. She's from our sister station, WBOC. And Alexis, the Worcester County coast doesn't look much different from what is taking place in Sussex County, Delaware.
About how this snow is just caking onto stuff. I'm going to show you here. We are right off of Coastal Highway. There's a snowplow right behind us. Snow plows and emergency vehicles are what is on the road, and that's good because you at home should not be on the road right now. But let's look at this. If I wanted to cross the street, I don't think I could press the button to ask to cross the street. Look at this. I got it. Yeah, I knew I was really strong, but this snow is just caked on here. And then the back of this, completely bare. That is how the snow is pushing in the wind, and it is very cold. It is to my back right now. I feel bad for my photographer, but it's in his face. You can see that the street, Coastal Highway, is turning to slush, but when we are here on these back roads, they're not getting touched, and this is what it's going to look like when we're in your community. So please do not drive on your back roads. Do not drive unless you absolutely have to. Emergency personnel are out and about to help if you need so, but please stay safe and stay warm, guys.
Yeah, it's certainly going to take some time to dig out of this storm with well over a foot of snow throughout much of the area. Blizzard conditions will continue at least through the morning. The snow will come to an end, but we are tracking milder days ahead. We'll track the snow and the mild temperatures down the road in that full 7-day forecast next.
And we are now taking a live look at Cambridge. Got a very different situation here near the banks of the Choptank River. We're closer to the Chesapeake Bay side on Delmarva. So right now we're not seeing a lot of snow, and overall things look pretty calm there. Now we do see a little bit of wave action if you check that out on the right side of your screen.
It is a pretty nice view, Matt. And we're going to check the weather conditions on the other side of the peninsula. Dorchester County got quite a bit of sleet and freezing rain accumulation.
Megan Summers, she's from our sister station, WBOC. She is live in Cambridge for us. And Megan, road crews, they've been working there throughout the night.
Yeah, as you can see, I'm blinking a lot, and that's because the snow has started to pick back up, and the wind is kind of pointing it straight sideways into your face. So sorry if I'm a little like, ugh. But just in the last, I would say 10 minutes or so, we've started to see that snowfall pick back up. For about an hour, we didn't really see much. It was only just kind of like flakes coming off the trees, but it is started to pick up a little bit back now. But luckily, I will say, roads are looking a little bit better. Road crews have been out here. You can see the road right here. If we look a little bit to the side, some of these side roads do still have some snow on it, so please still be careful when you are driving out there. But some of the main roads are getting some work done. You can see they're looking a little bit better than the last time we showed you. And I will say, I think it is because the snow itself is pretty slushy. If you look down here, you can see that it's a heavier snow, and it kind of just melts a little bit when you kind of step on it. So hopefully, with the ice, with the plows, with everybody working together, working hard, we can start to get these roads clear a little bit back up. But if you are going out to drive, once again, please be safe. Thank you so much, guys. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Megan. In Cambridge, again, we've been looking at this camera for most of the morning, and a much calmer situation there. Chris, big difference on that side of the Chesapeake Bay when you compare to what we're still seeing along the Atlantic coast in Rehoboth and Ocean City and those communities.
Yeah, we've been tracking that intense snow band just to the east of where Megan is in Cambridge. And you could see, as she mentioned, some of the snow beginning to fill in, rather light to moderate, but we've been tracking that heavier band extending from Denton right along the Route 13 corridor and right through the heart of Sussex County, where we're seeing those deeper white colors. And you can see it lightening up here over the last few echoes there, but light to moderate rainfall continues through much of the area here, and we're going to be dealing with the snow and the wind through the morning. Now the snow will be winding down as this powerful area of low pressure continues to deepen and kick up into the northeast. Now you can see visibility pretty low there in Ocean View 31 as we've had a wind-driven snow for much of the morning. Visibility anywhere between about 1 to 2 miles, so the snow is still coming down pretty heavy at this hour. Now the blizzard warnings do continue for all of Delaware through 6 o'clock for poor visibility and those gusty winds blowing and drifting snow. Blizzard warning for Dorchester, Somerset, Wycomico, Worcester County. Now we have been downgraded from a blizzard warning to a winter weather advisory for Accomack and Northampton counties. We're gusting to 46 miles an hour now in Indian River Inlet. That's where we've seen the strongest winds here over the last 18 to 24 hours. 32 right now in Lewis. We're at 31, so we're hovering right around that freezing mark. The other concern going on today is the coastal flood advisory, primarily for the back bays. We could see up to 1.5 feet of inundation through high tide this evening, and that's all thanks to that northwest wind. Now the snow will be winding down through midday. You could see the snow continuing at least to 12:30 at the coast. Could see some wraparound snow showers through the afternoon, and then it's going to be quite blustery overnight. Clear sky highs, we dip into the teens and 20s, so we are going to be dealing with a lot of ice come Tuesday morning, and we stay quite blustery. An additional 3 to 6 inches of snow on top of what has already fallen across the area. 1 to 3 from Crisfield down through Chincoteague. This is on top of, well, upwards of a foot or more of snow across much of the area. Now, those winds will continue out of the northwest, anywhere between about 30 to 45 miles an hour. That is why that coastal flooding concern for the back bays. We're not seeing much of an onshore wind, so that's why we don't see much of any flooding along the beaches. And the winds will stay quite blustery even into Tuesday as the sunshine returns and we slowly dig out. So the snow will continue, especially along Sussex County through at least midday. And we are going to be drying things out as the skies, well, we won't be seeing any sunshine, but that snow will be coming to an end at least through the early part of the afternoon. We're only going to see a high of 34 tomorrow with that snow as we slowly dig out. We are going to stay on the blustery side. Could see an early morning snow shower into Wednesday. Not going to amount to much, but we are going to be quite mild by the end of the week with the system bringing some rain into the area Thursday night into Friday. And the weekend looking really nice right now. Mostly sunny skies and highs in the 50s.
All right, thank you, Chris. Like myself, I know a number of people that are preparing to shovel out all of this, but doctors at BB Healthcare, they are warning that this type of work can put serious strain on your back. They say to use smaller shovels, take frequent breaks, wear proper footwear, and stop immediately if you feel chest pain, dizziness, shortness of breath, or nausea.
And still ahead, historic New Jersey storm. How the governor says this storm compares to conditions in January. CoastTV News Today will be right back.
Hope you're staying safe this Monday morning. Delmarva taking a live look into Ocean City. The snow, well, it's pretty light there, not that heavy. The back bays, well, the waters are pretty rough, and that's going to be the concern going into the high tide is some flooding in the back bays. 31, so some moderate to major flooding is possible through high tide. We have already reached flood stage, the gauge there in Indian River Inlet, so keep that in mind as we go into the evening. Over 1.5 foot of inundation is possible, so the snow will be with us on and off. Some moderate heavy snowfall into at least midday through much of the coast, and then by the time we get to the afternoon, that snow will be winding down, but the temperatures are going to remain quite above the freezing mark as we go into the afternoon, so that should help a bit with clearing that snow out as temperatures are going to be rising into the mid to upper 30s across the midshore. Mary Kelly of Milton, Delaware, congratulations on winning an umbrella from Coast TV. We will talk about some milder temperatures in that extended forecast.
Thank you, Chris. Now, in case you missed it, you got an extra chance to win one of those fun Coast TV news umbrellas. Now, how much snow do you think will fall during this storm at our Milton station? Well, if you have a thought, here's your chance to put your prediction to the test.
Yes, you can enter to win by visiting coasttv.com/vote. Complete the form you see there and give us your best guess for how many inches of snow we will get at the Coast TV studio in Milton. I want to make clear, Grace, it's for the studio in Milton.
Now, after the storm, anyone with a correct prediction will be entered to win.
And if there are multiple correct entries, we will select 3 winners to receive a Coast TV umbrella.
How fun is that? Love a good competition. New this morning, other parts of the East Coast, they're experiencing some similar conditions. Let's take a look at this video coming out of New Jersey on Sunday. You can see snow falling pretty hard on those roads and sidewalks. And this is the first blizzard warning for New Jersey in 30 years, and it could be historic with the possibility of snowfalls reaching 3 inches per hour. Now stay with us, because after the break on Coast TV News Today, a Rehoboth road notice, what road officials say are off limits to parking.
Also, Georgetown snow plan, risk of parking on snow emergency routes there.
Plus, conditions cause ferry cancellations, what you need to know about travel changes at the Cape May Lewis Ferry. Coast TV News Today continues after the break.
Now on Coast TV News.
A powerful blizzard continues to impact the region. Avoid travel. We have well over a foot of snow across the peninsula. We'll track the snow when it exits and when we all clear out.
Power problem. With overnight conditions too dangerous for crews and restoration efforts, we have the latest for you on the outage situations.
We give you a live look at Coastal Highway as DelDOT crews are chipping away at plowing this massive snowfall here in Sussex County.
Travel trouble. How the blizzard is not only affecting roads, it's having an effect on the ferry and our regional airports.
This is Coast TV News Today.
Thank you for joining us. We are now continuing our coverage of this blizzard situation. We want to give you a live look out into Ocean City. The time is now 6:35 a.m. We are getting more light coming in. The sun not going to make it through those clouds today. Visibility on this camera, you can see just how the snow is caking those docks.
Yeah, and here's what we're seeing on our roads. This is Coastal Highway in Rehoboth Beach. Got a lot of snow there, and lots of it is covering that main highway along the coast. So that is the scene that we're seeing throughout Delmarva this morning. Now, this is a big snowstorm, and to help us tell you the story, we have team coverage on the left side of your screen. That's Brandon Ferguson. He's in Lewis. He's just off of Coastal Highway.
And we've got Elisa Weber on the right side of your screen. She is live and will give us the latest in Milton.
Yeah, it's February 23rd, 2026. Good morning, everyone. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Grace.
Good morning, Matt. I'm Grace Eckerly. Thank you for joining us on this snowy day.
Yeah, 6:36 right now. Blizzard warning still in effect, and right now they are saying that will be the case until early Monday evening.
This is going to be a historic snowfall, I am sure. And First Alert Meteorologist Chris Mastrobono, we got to give him his flowers, working so hard, tracking the storm since the beginning. Chris, you actually joked on Friday, that would be funny if we got a blizzard, and here we are now.
Yeah, it was trending that way, and it only trended more and more that we were going to get more and more snow through the weekend, and the models were all over the place. But I'll tell you what, we've seen quite a pounding of snow across the peninsula here over the last 24 hours, and that snow is still coming down at a pretty good clip across Bridgeville, Seaford, Old Furnace through Georgetown. Some lighter snow now across Lewis down through Long Neck. So that's where the most accumulation is happening right now. But we're seeing some wraparound snow beginning to fill in across Cambridge and the western portions of the peninsula, where we did see some lighter snowfall totals over the last few hours. But look at this powerful area of low pressure, almost an eye-like feature there, well offshore as that moisture continues to filter in off the Atlantic. Over 14 inches in Dagsboro, and we're going to continue to add to these snowfall totals and even more towns as these reports continue to come in. The wind also has been quite a impactful part of this storm. Nearly 60-mile-an-hour gusts there in Indian River Inlet, 55 Indian Beach, 52-mile-an-hour gusts there in Ocean City, and those winds continue to gust anywhere between 25 to 45 miles an hour. So the snow, heavy at times, will be with us at least through about 11, and then just a few residual snow showers will linger into the early afternoon time frame. We do get above the freezing mark, so that will help with clearing snow, which, again, take your time clearing that snow because we are dealing with quite a heavy snow across the area. I'll have more in a little bit.
Thank you, Chris. Sussex County under a level 3 driving ban, meaning only responders that are deemed essential and personnel should be on the roads.
Yeah, we have our Brandon Ferguson. He's just off of Coastal Highway in Lewis, where we see crews are challenged to get those roads cleared.
Good morning, Matt and Grace. We have not seen a DelDOT plow on this part of Coastal Highway upwards of 50 minutes ago, but you can see the layer of snow and slush on Coastal Highway. And one thing, a positive from so far, flakes are very small now, wind is still strong, but visibility, you can take a look at Coastal Highway. And if we actually turn around this way, Grace, you mentioned that level 3 driving restriction. This is a big reason why. A minivan, it looks like, is stuck, and the level 3 driving restriction is in place just so things like this do not happen and first responders can have a clear way on the roads. But visibility a lot better, wind still strong, and light flakes here in Lewis. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Brandon. Now, the Cape May Lewis Ferry has announced several cancellations because of this weather. Some departures being canceled today. This includes the Cape May departure for 7 a.m. as well as the Lewis departure for 8:45 a.m.
And throughout the morning, we are continuing to track those roads and the other travel areas throughout our newscast.
That's right, Matt. Now, let's get right back to First Alert Meteorologist Chris Mastrobono. Chris, Brandon just showed us some of the conditions of the roads in Sussex County.
Yeah, we've been talking about this heavy, wet, cakey snow. It just cakes up underneath your car in the wheel well, and that's why you get stuck. And not to mention, we have over a foot of snow. I experienced that about 1:30 this morning, getting stuck in the driveway. driveway. Now, the blizzard warning does continue with heavy snow and wind through. The blizzard warning is through about 6, but the snow will be winding down early this afternoon, but the snow continues. Moderate to light snow across much of Sussex County, and you can see that band beginning to lighten up a bit here over the last few frames. We're not seeing those deep blues and purples like we were just a short time ago. Still gusting 30, 40 miles an hour at the coast out of the northwest. So the snow, light to moderate, will be with us at least through midday. And then we get above the freezing mark through the afternoon, which should help a little clearing that snow off the cars and your property. And yeah, going to be some nice snowmen making snow across the area this afternoon. We'll talk more about it here in a little bit.
All right, we'll have to check that out as the day moves along. Georgetown activated its snow emergency plan. So here's what that means for that town. Parking restrictions are in effect on designated snow emergency routes, and the town says cars cannot removed may be towed at owner's expense, and people who live in the town, they're asked to not park on streets, avoid driving, clear sidewalks within 24 hours after the snowfall, and also to keep fire hydrants clear.
And Rehoboth Beach says there will be no parking on Rehoboth Avenue, Bayard Avenue, and State Road, and will remain this way until snow removal operations are complete. Administrative offices will be closed today, February 23rd. Trash pickup throughout the city will take place on Tuesday, February 24th.
The snow continues to fall, already adding to an impressive amount. It's been coming down since the early afternoon yesterday.
It sure has, Matt. And CoastTV's Elisa Weber is in Milton. And Elisa, you are bundled up in these conditions.
Good morning, Matt and Grace. Yes, I have a ton of layers on right now. It's necessary with weather like this, but now you can get a really good view of what it's looking like in this neighborhood here in Milton. It's a beautiful sight, but it's a sight you want to enjoy from your home. Stay inside, look out your window. This morning, the conditions have been very poor. I mean, visibility is getting a little bit better as the sun comes up, but something I want to point out, the ground right here is turning into slush. This slush is slippery. It's not icing over, but it is something you need to be mindful of if you are walking outside this morning.
And we actually lost connection with Elisa Weber due to those conditions. It can happen when our camera equipment gets wet. But
yeah,
we're going to turn back to First Alert Meteorologist Chris Mastrobono.
Yeah, Chris, not only the snow accumulation is the stuff that we're talking about and tracking, but boy, that wind, that is something else as well.
Oh yeah, the wind is going to continue to howl through the afternoon and even into tomorrow. You can see the winds. Look at the water here in the back bays and ocean view. Pretty picturesque shot. I mean, the snow cakes to everything, so it makes for some pretty nice pictures, but very dangerous travel. 31 in ocean view, and we're seeing some pretty light snow in the immediate Delaware coast at the moment. We've been tracking this heavy snow band across the mid-shore along Route 13. Now we're beginning to fill back in with the snow across Cambridge after most of the morning. Since we've been on air, we haven't seen much in the way of snow there in Cambridge. 31-mile-an-hour gust in Bethany Beach. We've seen gusts as high as 50 to near 60 miles an hour through the overnight. And as we've been mentioning, this is that back-breaking snow. If you don't have a snow blower, take your time removing it. And we also do have some coastal flooding concerns, primarily in the back bays as we go through high tide this evening. I'll talk more about that here in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Chris. And we've got a lot more news to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, we get an update from DelDOT on how they're tackling roads as the snow continues to fall.
Well, 2 years in a row, the Delaware coast has gotten nailed with at least a foot or more of snow, and you can see that snowy landscape here in Lewis. Temperature 31 degrees, so we have hovered at or just below the freezing mark throughout the entirety of the storm through the overnight. We've been tracking that moderate band of snow across Route 13, and we're beginning to see some wraparound snow beginning to fill in across Washington, D.C. and western portions of the peninsula as this powerful area of low pressure continues to push offshore. 25-mile-an-hour gusts there in Salisbury, 31 in Bethany Beach. So the snow will be with us at least through the morning. The winds will be with us all day as we get those temperatures above the freezing mark by this afternoon. We will talk about some milder temperatures in that 7-day forecast in just a little bit.
Thank you, Chris. And as we are making our way back, this just in, DelDOT has been working to clear Delaware roads of all this snow.
Yeah, hey, I got a chance to speak with them this morning to hear firsthand how operations are going. CR, what are you seeing right now in regards to Sussex County?
We are seeing extremely hazardous conditions in Sussex County. Our plows are struggling, frankly. We have just continued heavy bands of snow, wind. We have dozens of roads that are closed due to trees and wires that are down. So it is very, very treacherous at this hour. We expect the number of confirmed roads that are closed to only grow once we get into the daylight hours and we're able to actually get out to more places. But at this hour, it is just a very very hazardous. I'll repeat that. No one should be expecting to be out on Sussex County roads today. That is going to be the message that DEMA, DelDOT, all the agencies are reiterating, that roads are not going to be safe for travel today.
Okay, so no travel today. Do you have a time frame? Are we looking at tomorrow as possibly getting some of those bigger roads open?
Too far out to speculate at this time. So it's it's going to be something that is a process that's ongoing throughout the day, and there will certainly be more updates coming in through DEMA as the storm progresses.
DelDOT Sierra McLeod, thank you for taking a few minutes out of your morning today.
All right, Matt. Thank you.
Coming up tonight on DSN, got a boys basketball game for you at 6, G League NBA action at 8, and then the final score at 10:30.
It's a good day to make some hot chocolate, maybe cook up a batch of brownies as we hunker down as this blizzard continues to produce snow across the area. Now the snow will be winding down through midday. The wind and the coastal flooding impacts will be with us through the evening. The latest after the break.
And we're back here on Coast TV News Today. Just want to give you a heads up. We lost power there briefly, but we're back up and running. And Grace, we are back with the coastal pet of the day.
And how exciting to warm up your day. This is our bright sunny spot on a snowy day. This is our good friend Toby. He was submitted to us by Eris in Seaford. And we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos, tell us what makes them so special. If you take a look at your screen now.
Yep, scan that QR code. That allows you to get your friends to us. And then you can watch weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
This morning, and we continue to track the snow. That snow will be light to moderate through at least through the midday time frame, and then a few snow showers early afternoon as we see the snow come to an end. The winds will continue to gust in excess of 30 to 40 miles an hour. And the good news is the temperatures are going to get above the freezing mark as we go into the afternoon, but we're going to fall back below the freezing mark. Not only that, we're going to be into the teens come Tuesday morning, so that is going to create a lot of ice across the area. So take your time removing snow off your car and property because it has a lot of water content in it. Good for snowball making, good to make snowmen, but yeah, you could break your back shoveling the snow. That's that much weight to it. 34 into the afternoon on Tuesday. Now the temperatures get to the 40s, mid to upper 40s Wednesday, Thursday. We're going to see a system bring rain into the area Thursday through Friday, and then we're back up into the 50s by the weekend.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you for joining us for Coast TV News Today.
And the Today Show is coming up next at 7 a.m.
And we'll be back with Coast TV News midday at 11 with more coverage on our social media and our website.
Yeah, download our apps for that. Until then, have a great Monday morning, everybody.